Defendant then assaulted the first complainant with a closed fist multiple times. The defendant called her a dumb. The defendant approached her and slapped her on the left cheek, which caused her pain. The defendant proceeded to push her on the ground and then punched her on the left arm.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
You speak English, ma'am? Thank you. Ma'am, you were charged with 2 counts of assault. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on each of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On November 29th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an apartment complex regarding a disturbance, an unknown weapon called for service. Upon arrival, the officers met with 2 complainants and a witness who advised that the defendant is their cousin. The first complainant advised that after the defendant called her downstairs, the defendant pulled her hair and pulled her to the ground. The defendant then assaulted the first complainant with a closed fist multiple times on the left and right side of her head, causing pain. The second complainant advised that after she saw the defendant kicking the first complainant's head, she attempted to stop the defendant. However, the second complainant was hit from behind by a second defendant with a closed fist on the left side of her face, and then proceeded to get assaulted by both the defendant and a second defendant, causing her to feel pain. The witness stated he was hit by the second defendant when he observed both complainants getting assaulted and attempted to separate the parties from fighting. The witness advised he saw the first defendant hitting both complainants with a closed fist and kicking them in the head and on the body. The defendant admitted to assaulting the complainants, and the officer observed visible swelling and markings on the complainants' faces.
Is there a co-defendant?
I couldn't see anything connected, Judge.
No, Your Honor. There's no connected cases, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
so I spoke to one of the complainants yesterday because the other one only speaks Spanish, so I can only speak to one of them. And she told me that for some reason the police only filed charges on this defendant because she admitted to it. I believe is what happened, but also, Judge, I just wanted you to be aware that there were major injuries sustained by the witness and one of the complainants, and they were all checked out by HFD, and all were checked out by HFD, and 2 were transported to Memorial Hermann Hospital Southeast for further evaluation.
I mean, serious bodily injury to where a felony can be filed?
It depends. I need to request the medical records, Judge.
Was alcohol or drugs, did that play a part?
Not from what I'm aware of, Judge. It just seems like the defendant came to their father's home, which is where the complainants were, and then demanded that one of the complainants come outside, and then she started beating on her.
Is there a familial relationship? Because it's charged as just an assault. Was it a family member?
So the 2 complainants and the witness are all siblings, and they're cousins with this defendant and the 2 others that were involved on the other end.
Yeah.
So it is a family relationship, Judge. The complainant does want no contact and she wants restrictions.
Okay. Ms. Moreno, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have contact with any of the complaining witnesses in this case. Do you understand? I'm ordering you not to go back to this location, and I'm ordering you not to be in possession of weapons. How old are you, ma'am? You are 17 years old. Are you a United States citizen? I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm telling you now, I'm going to put you in jail. If you don't have anyone to pony up 5,000 to 10,000, you're going to be stuck in jail. I don't want to have to do that, but I want you to understand that I'm going to protect my public at all costs. Do you understand? You know what? I'd like to send up for a drug test right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm sending you for a drug test. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. You understand? I'm going to have you go take a drug test. We're going to have you come back, and then I'm going to have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily. Do you understand? Come back, because if you don't, I will issue a warrant, man. Okay? Just take a seat, man.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. I guess our next one would be Mr. Deval, page 5.
Okay.
Deval.
Good morning, Mr. Deval. Sir, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officers was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance with a weapon. The complainant advised that she was in her home when she heard someone knocking loudly on the front door. When the complainant's husband, the witness, opened the door, he and the defendant started arguing. The complainant stepped between them to try to stop the fight, and the defendant shoved her, causing her to fall to the ground and hit her head, causing pain. The witness told the officers that when the complainant fell, the defendant called her a dumb bitch, and when the officer spoke to the defendant, he stated that he went over to the complainant's house after the complainant and the defendant's wife got into an argument. The defendant then stated that the witness chased him with a machete and a baseball bat. The officers did not find either of those items at the location.
Who said that?
The defendant stated the witness chased him, but the officers did not find this.
Okay. Do we know if she still wants to have contact? Have you got the rip done?
The rip was done.
Yes, Judge. I spoke to this complainant. She's requested no contact. I think they're neighbors. They live about a mile away from each other. And then she's just requested that he's not allowed to come to her property either.
Okay. But the bad blood is, I guess, between the gentlemen as well, though.
I think it's between
Right.
both families. She explained to me that there was a argument that was started a couple months ago, just between them, and then it's kind of been ongoing since then.
Okay. All right, Mr. Deval, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Don't have contact with these people.
Yes, sir.
I see there's bad blood, but it's just not worth it sitting in a box 6x9 for months on end because it's just some bad blood.
Yes, sir.
Just don't go back over there. Don't have contact with them. Don't be in possession of weapons, and then everyone's happy.
One question, that is my aunt's house. So, sometimes I do have to drop stuff up.
I would use someone else.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that I don't want you to go over there.
Yes, sir, I understand.
One day they're accidentally there, they start popping off to you, and then boom, you're the one that's on bond for this case. So even if they call the cops and it's not true and they start, fibbing and saying this, the cops come out, they're going to be on you because you got the open case.
Yes, sir.
So when you get into a pissing match with people with authority, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to lose, right? So it's best to prevent all that. So that's why we do this.
Yes,
So
sir.
just don't go over there, don't have any contact, and then we're all happy.
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
Construction.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
How much money do you make a month?
Well, I just got back to work. I make, right at 25 an hour.
If you want time, I can give you time to hire a lawyer. If you have any issues and you're unable.
I use Juan Vasquez. Juan Vasquez.
Okay. Is that, you want to go hire this person?
Yeah, I will hire him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now.
I was told that I didn't need a lawyer because more than likely this would be thrown out. And,
Do that.
Mr. Vasquez, it says something.
I don't see how anyone can say that without.
Because
Okay.
I didn't.
So I got a bunch of DAs here. Everything you say is recorded. They use it, so just don't. Better to have the lawyer work on it to try to work it to your favor, but just don't say anything now because anything you say, they're going to use it against you. So I'm going to have you sign a reset with Ramona. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then after that, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Come on this way, sir.
So no contact, no weapons, and no going. Yes, please.
All right, our next arraignment is Garcia, Mario on page 7.
Mario Garcia. All right, good morning, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning.
Sir, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On November 29th, 2024, officers responded to a call for service made on November 28th, 2024, the complainant called and stated the defendant, who she was in a dating relationship with for 2 years, was sitting outside her apartment. The officer met with the defendant before the complainant, who stated he saw the complainant talking to male friends, which made him upset. The defendant stated he approached the complainant and slapped and pushed her. The complainant stated that she was in the kitchen when the defendant suddenly became angry. The defendant approached her and slapped her on the left cheek, which caused her pain. The defendant proceeded to push her on the ground and then punched her on the left arm above her elbow area. While she was on the ground, the defendant kicked her on the left side of her body and struck her on the shin and below her knee. The defendant also struck the complainant in her abdomen, which knocked the wind out of her, and the officer observed a red and purple bruise on the complainant's arm and other redness consistent with an assault.
See if he's on probation or parole at this time, please, Alex.
I'll see, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I want you to understand something, Mr. Garcia, that I'm going to protect every person in this county. And if I have to take you down, dragging, kicking, and screaming and putting your butt in jail to protect everyone, I'll do it in a heartbeat. If I need to make your bond $50,000, $150,000, $10 million, I'll do it in a heartbeat to protect every single person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, he's not on probation at this time.
There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it because you violate this protective order. The state can and will file a violation of protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You violate conditions on a VPO, I can hold you at no bond, zero bond, and I'll do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you first go to Ramona, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you go to Felicia for your bond conditions. And after that, you're free to go. Take care in my free world, because if you don't, I'm going to take it away from you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.